Hello friends, gonna start a new project today, little one. They say necessity is the mother of invention. So this has already been invented, but I got this old steel that I got from work when they were throwing it away, and I'm gonna add some value to it by stripping off all the old paint, and then I'm gonna make a receiver hitch carrier for my pickup and my Polaris, because I like to carry my lawnmower, my push lawnmower, places to use, and it's getting heavy and awkward to put up in the bed. So I looked at some stuff online and came up with a size, and thought I'd go ahead and recycle or repurpose this old angle iron and T and some 2-inch tubing. So I'll bring you along as we go. You just watched was a time lapse of me cutting these 1.5 inch by 3/16 angle irons, length on a 45. So my frame is basically just a big picture frame, so it's mitered on the ends. But what I got to do now is I got to strip all this old paint off and get it to where I can get clean metal, so I can do the welding. So I'll put you back on time lapse and we'll get that through with that. Well, that's enough of that for a while. This old table angle iron been sitting out in the weather a little bit too much. Kind of rusty, kind of ugly, kind of free. So I'm gonna make use of it, but now you can kind of envision where I'm at. This is roughly 2x4. And it's just going to be the frame. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and tack it up square and then weld it, and then I'll move on to the next step, which is deciding where it needs to go on the 2-inch tube that's going to go underneath it. the frame is all welded in the corners and it's square. This is a 2-inch. It's going to be welded on. I'm taking center line. The only problem is the handlebar of the lawnmower stick out, but it makes more sense for everything else. Like I may put a generator on there at some time or something like that, but so far so good. Just a quick little project. All right, so I got that welded on really nice. And what I'm doing here is I'm laying out for the cross hole or pinhole in the receiver part of this operation. So what I need to do is go ahead and drill that out, and then hopefully I can follow through with another drill to get to the bottom, flip it over, and use my step drill to finish it up. These step drills are a lifesaver for me. But problem is, if you need something just a little bigger, you don't have it. So now your options are file, or as I'm going to do, use this carbide burr and dryer grinder. There you go. Get that lined up. And like that. I think that's way more than enough. Okay, so I got the intermediate supports, which is looks like 1/8 by 3/4 angle. They're pretty rusty, so what I'm going to use is I have an 1/8 inch 6011 to weld on the rusty metal. I'm just going to tack it in on this end that's clamped, and then get it in the right. Well, it's square right now, so all I have to do is hold it up even with the bottom of the cross tube, and then tack it there. Then I'll do both sides, and then I'll weld it in good. And that should be the base, other than the gussets and the braces. All right, so I got the, for lack of a better word, we'll call them floor joists in. And I got all the welding done on this side. So my next task is to make some gussets for the front or back, depending on how you look at it. And then some braces for this. So I'll go ahead and get started on that. Alrighty, there are the gussets and the braces. So the only thing I need to do is tip it up on its side because I can't weld vertically very well. Well, as you can see, I'm pretty close to being done. I made some 3/8 hook loop things to strap down the lawnmower. What I was going to do next is go along, clamp it down, and spot it every so often so it doesn't rattle around and stays put, and then I'll be almost done except for painting. Here we are finally to the last step. Everything's all tacked in as far as the expanded metal, and I got a little rusty metal primer, Rust-Oleum left from my dump trailer project. So I'm gonna go ahead and brush that on, and before I do the final coat, which I'm gonna spray on. So things are looking good. Here we are this morning for the moment of truth. We got her all painted up. Sitting behind the Polaris Ranger. Now I gotta figure out how hard it is gonna be to get mounted. So these little hooks I made, I think are gonna come in handy. So I'm thinking the downside of this already is the weight. It's the weight and the awkwardness of it. But if I can get it started there. Yeah, that's not bad. Then I'll have to crawl under to put the pin in. So all in all, that came out pretty good. Downside, it's definitely heavy. Upside, it was cost effective. And since custom, a lot of the ones I saw, they were regular cars. They didn't extend out far enough. So with this one, I made that custom long tube. Now I'm not gonna stack much weight on this because there's a lot of leverage there, but for my lawnmower, getting it up on there, I'll take a shot of that, but so far I'm digging it. So here's the test to see if it was worthwhile. All I do is pick this up like this, do a wheelie, guide it in, put it there, and then I can definitely see a flaw in my design. My strap points are hidden. Well, there they go. So now my strap points, if I push it all the way forward, which is good, my strap points are here and here. So now I'm just gonna get one of those strong rubber bungees the truckers use and see if that's the right length. And I'm thinking that should hold it on very well. So it was a fun project. It's done now. Time to do something else. Mow grass. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you come back for the next project.